Believe Nation, we are live. It is happening. We are back. Monday is my mentoring day, so I like having 1 day per week just spent on mentoring my team. I think as you realize that you are on a big path, you've got a big mission, you've got a lot that you want to get done, you have to have people who help you. You can't do this all on your own. You can go, what's the expression? You can go really fast if you're by yourself, or if you want to go far, you need a team. And I think at the beginning, when you're trying to build a team, just having somebody start part-time is really valuable, just to start working your managerial muscles, because the first person you hire is probably not going to be with the company long-term. There aren't very many businesses where the first person who came on board is still with the company years later, mostly because of one, you suck as a manager and you suck at hiring people, and that's okay. Like, how do you get great at something? Well, you practice. And so I think it's fantastic to start part-time, having somebody on. It lets you bring on somebody sooner, and it lets you start building your managerial muscles. And then just make sure you're spending time with them. I think so many entrepreneurs hire a team just thinking, okay, this person is going to make my life so much easier. And you basically treat them like monkeys or robots, where no, they're a human with goals and aspirations and dreams. And your job should be to make them better because they knew you. Right? That should be your goal. Because they were hanging around you, because they spent a month, a year, 10 years with you, they became better people in that process. And so the way that I do it is I spend my Mondays helping people on the team, just mentoring, guiding. Some people I meet once a week, some people I meet once a month, some people meet once a quarter, depending on the roles and what they're doing in the business. As we've grown, we've got 36 people now, I think, on the team. It's definitely getting a lot harder. There's some layers in between, but I still try to connect with everybody on an ongoing basis. Still probably not enough, even though I spend a whole day doing it every week. But I think it's important. I think you should start, if you don't have a team yet, you want to start thinking about a team. How do I start building a team? How do I get somebody even part-time in my company? And how can you level them up as humans because they spent time with you? That's my Monday. That's my little rant for the day. So this is my break. This is my little hangout in between all the calls with the people on my team, because I want to be here for you guys. Nina in the house says, thank you. What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys have a question, pop it down below. If we want to do some lives, we can try that too. Let's see. Darlington wants to come and see what he's got. Help some entrepreneurs, fam. That's what I'm talking about. Come on now. Okay, where's Darlington? Darlington, I sent you an invite. There he is.
Hello, everyone.
What's up,
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Great. This is my second time talking to you. I'm pumped. The first time we talked, I was asking you about building a career in customer experience. And now I'm sort of trying to get into a position where I prioritize, because I'm starting a business. I'm building an app that basically helps students find roommates according to compatibility. So take it like a Tinder for people looking for roommates. And on that same platform, you can also find accommodation. So I'm doing that, and also trying to build a podcast. I'm a student studying business admin, and there's just a lot of things that require my attention. So I've been burnt out for the past 2 weeks, and now I'm just trying to realign my focus and also at the same time build a career. So my question to you now is, how do I get into a position where I prioritize what is best for my career, and at the same time trying to start a business?
Why are those different? Like, what's the career that you're having, and why is it not being an entrepreneur?
I think I'm trying to, would I call it killing two birds with one stone? But I'm trying to sort of, get into consultancy, business consulting, customer experience consulting. But at the same time, I'm also trying to, build a business, because like the career is going to fund the business, because I have no other way. Like, my savings are down. I have nothing left to my savings for my business. And you know how it is when you're trying to start up. You have a few shady developers, and they drain your pockets, and you try to invest some money in marketing and sales, and that goes south. But I'm still trying to hang on to the business because I believe it has a lot of potential. And I'm in Cyprus right now, and I believe there's a market for this.
And why the podcast on top of it?
So with my podcast, I talk about entrepreneurship within the African context. and I've brought on some really exciting entrepreneurs, and it's more of a passion project, honestly. So that too is also just, an effort to actually fund the business.
The podcast is funding the business?
Not yet, not yet. I haven't made much from it, but yeah, I'm trying to get to a position where I build an audience and then obviously start to monetize it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, you got three things going on at the same time,
yeah,
and if they're all disconnected, then it's going to be really hard for you to get real traction on any of them.
yeah, yeah,
The key is to combine it. So if you're going to have a job, which is fine, the job should do more than just fund the business. The job
yeah,
should give you experience and connections to help
yeah,
you launch the company. So
absolutely.
if you want to have an app company or a software company, you
Yeah,
should be working at a software company, learning the ins and outs of how to run a successful software company.
yeah,
You should probably also have a technical co-founder to do this with, as opposed to you, because you're always going to get ripped off,
of course.
and you're never going to know if the timelines are right or not, or if they're working hard or not. You need somebody who lives and eats and sleeps and breathes the software
Yeah,
side of things
yeah,
just as much as you do the business side of things.
absolutely.
And if I'm you, I wouldn't do the podcast. I'd be having you go on podcasts to
Okay,
promote this connection service that you've got. Right?
okay.
This starts locally. So this starts in Cyprus, and then it expands. And
Yeah,
one college takes you to another college. It's just basically Facebook all over again. Started on
yeah,
one campus, and then expanded to other Ivy Leagues, and then took over
exactly.
the world. Right? It's the
Yeah,
exact same model. The difference is, Zuckerberg could code. If you can't code, then you need to find somebody who can help you code.
yeah,
And then you
yeah,
center everything around that. So you get a job where you're going to be learning about the ins and outs of this business, either
yeah, yeah,
software or selling to universities, something that's going to help you, not just a generic management consulting. A lot of that is not practical or relevant. Like I looked at going to McKinsey. I looked at the strategic consulting firms. A lot of it
yeah,
is way too high level for a single entrepreneur. Like, you're not going to
yeah.
learn that much at a consulting job that's going to help you start your business.
Okay, okay.
You find a job that's going to help you with your business. You stop doing your podcast, you start going on people's podcasts to promote the
Yeah,
business, and you find a
yeah.
technical co-founder who's going to help you code all this stuff. So you stop spending
Okay.
money on programmers and getting taken advantage of because you don't know enough about the technical side of things. When you can align all these things, so you're not doing three separate things, but you're doing three things that all point in the same direction, you get a
Yeah.
lot more focused, you get a lot more success, a lot more productivity, a lot more results, and a lot less burnout because you're being pulled in a million different directions.
Hmm. Okay. And with the developer, just to add on to that, we have a developer. The only thing that's lacking is the fact that he's a PhD student and he's also working. So the only thing that he has in this business is sweat equity. So it's a bit unfair for me to always, have him on call and asking him, what do we do? This needs to be done, because he's always busy. So now I'm trying to I'm finding myself in a position where we can't bring on someone unless we are giving them funds, because he can't
No, that you
devote
can.
as much hours.
It's sweat equity is fine. You just have to have somebody who's as committed as you are.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, you need somebody who's so committed to it that he's calling you up and saying, dude, you need to get on podcasts. You need to start promoting this stuff. Because while he's in his
yeah,
basement coding away, he wants you to be showing up on your side.
yeah.
You had the right idea, just the wrong person.
Okay.
This person might be great, might be your best friend of all time. It's not a terrible human. He's
Yeah,
just not as committed to it as you are.
exactly. And I don't expect him to be. Yeah.
No. You need to expect your partner to be as committed to it.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're
Okay.
paying somebody, that's a different story. If I'm paying somebody on my team to help me create Instagram content, I don't expect them to be as committed to this as I am. But
Yeah.
if if we're business partners on something, I need you to be as committed as I am. Otherwise, I don't want you as a business partner.
Huh.
If you're giving him equity in the business that he's going to own a piece of your company, then he has to be committed to it. And everybody's got many things going on. He's got his school, you've got your job, right? But are you showing up enough for the business? And this is what sinks a lot of early stage companies, is one partner ends up carrying the weight for everybody, and it becomes crushing. And so they have to quit. Just like in school projects. Are you still in school, or are you done school?
Yeah, I'm still in school, my second year.
Okay, so second year. So you know this. You've gone on projects where there's like 5 people on a project, and one person ends up carrying everybody across the finish line.
Yeah.
It's very rare to find a group of 5 people where everybody's really pulling their own weight and are deeply committed to making this thing happen.
Yeah.
But that's what you need. If you're going to give somebody a part of your company, that's what they need to be, because this is a relationship for a long time. This isn't just, okay, one project for 3 months, I'll hard carry it, and maybe I don't have to see you guys again. This is, no, we're doing this for 5 years, 10 years, for life. I mean, we want to sell this thing. We want to build a giant company. You need somebody who's going to really pull up their part of the bargain. And just because they're a programmer doesn't mean that they have the right mindset or the willingness to commit the time that needs to be committed.
Yeah.
Right? Again, it doesn't mean they're a bad person, but your partner, you have to expect an equal level of commitment, or they're the wrong partner.
Yeah.
Just like a partner in life, right? Like Nina and I, we have to both be equal level of commitment to making this relationship be amazing.
Yeah.
If one person shows up and the other's not, that's not a long-term formula for success. So the marriage you're creating is the business. You're trying to create this amazing business, and if that person's not committed, it's the wrong. It's not, again, they're not a bad person, and it just might be a timing issue right now, and it's okay. Like, go focus on your PhD. I love you, but this person is slowing you down from accomplishing your goals. I mean, you're slowing yourself down with all the other things that you're doing and lack of focus and clarity, but they're slowing you down too. If you feel bad always calling them and say, hey, we need this feature added into the software, and they're too busy, studying, and I get it, but it's just not the right partner right now for what you need.
Lovely. Got that.
Cool, man.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Sending you love. That's great.
Bye.
All right. Let's go. What else we got? If you guys have questions, pop it down below. We'll do our best to answer as many as we can. And happy Monday, everybody. That was fun. Listen, I think that's something a lot of people can relate to. People pick the wrong business partners because it looks good on paper. There's 2 things with Darlington. You pick the wrong partner because it looks great on paper. And everybody is so pumped at the beginning of anything, right? We're all pumped. Like, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And then once it starts getting tough, you start to see who the real people are that you want to have around you in your life. And it's not a knock on the person. It's just not the right fit. It's not, you don't want to yell at them and say, you suck and you're not committed and you're not doing your role. But that's probably not going to lead anywhere. They're a great person. They just have different priorities than you do right now. And you need somebody with matching priorities and values. And then also just making sure that you're focused. He's a student. He's trying to get a job. He's trying to launch a company. He's trying to launch a podcast. It's no wonder you're burnt out, right? Too many different directions. Focus everything you've got on one direction. You can start to win. Make sense? Whoo-wee. Okay, why don't we do some rapid fire Q&A? Let's bring in I see some movement makers here in the house. Let's do some rapid fire movement makers. Let's see, I see Angela. I see Esmeralda, and I see Erasmo. We haven't had Esmeralda and Erasmo. Let's bring in some people. Get ready. Put some questions. Use the little chat box. Esmeralda in the house.
Hey.
Are you at work?
I'm in the store.
You're at
I'm
the store?
shopping.
Perfect. Shopping. Great. Okay, who are we missing? Where's Angela? Who else did I invite? Angela and Erasmo. There's Angela and there's Erasmo. All right. We got movement makers in the house. Put your questions down. Use the little chat box, and let's see how many we can get to. Let's see. How's everybody doing first? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Well, I'm kind of nervous.
Good. Listen, that's what we do. We do things that make us nervous. Okay. Here we go. Let's go. How to take full responsibility of your life. Wow, we're starting off with an easy one here, huh? Okay, who wants to go first?
Wow.
Ladies first.
I'll go. I would say, and Evan just said it, focus. Because
for me, that has been like the main thing. I've had so many things going on, and I was trying to accomplish so many things that I had to focus on one thing. And once you achieve at least one of all the things that you're trying to do, everything just starts to fall in place. So for me, it would be focus.
I like it. I like it. Good start. Hey, this is Esmeralda's first time, and she takes the first question. Great. Okay, Angela, what do we got?
Okay, how do we take full responsibility for our life? You just got to do it. You got to just be intentional to believe that your life is worth value and the people around you are valuable. And so you've got to be responsible for the things that you're doing and for the people that are in your life.
I love it. Erasmo?
Awesome. For me, will be find empathy for people, take responsibility, and for yourself, because it's very tough to take responsibility because it's so much easier to point the finger. But just, try to find your mistakes and take responsibility. Just own it. Own the problem, own the mistake that you made, and just, that's it.
There you go. How nervous are you, Esmeralda, being in the store doing this live and people are going to walk by and hear you?
You know what? I'm not nervous about that. It was just me just being coming up on camera because I saw the request and I was like, ooh, should I do it? Should I not? So
Come on, you got to say
it.
yes. There we go. I love it. I would say just also shift your environment. When you're around other people who are taking responsibility, it'll inspire you. If you're around people who are just complaining and blaming other people, say, oh, I'm not successful because of whatever, your parents, the government, the president, the former president, whatever. That's easy to then seep into you, and that becomes your narrative too. But if you're around other people who have something bad happen to them, and then they say, okay, I'm gonna fix this, I'm gonna own this, I'm gonna move on, I'm gonna find a way around this. That resourcefulness starts to seep into you too. So whoever the people are, whether actual friends that you hang out with or just virtually through Instagram, videos, YouTube, all that, be around that more, and you'll find that you have a lot more responsibility for your life as well. Okay, what else?
And this is perfect because I had been away from doing my lives, my challenge, my 100 video challenge. And this week was going to be my start. Like I have Yuko and Francine and like a lot of different people scheduled for this week. But today was my day. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, and here I am.
There you are. She's doing it.
Awesome.
Listen, and that's part, everybody here on stage is in Movement Makers, but whether you're part of Movement Makers or just find your own circle of friends, to have people around you. Like if you say I'm going live and I want somebody to help, Angela's putting her hand up to say, pick me. Erasmo's going to say, hey, I'm happy to come on. There's 20 people who would all say yes to support, because we all remember that time when we were too afraid to get in front of the camera and somebody gave us a little bit of a hug and a push in a loving way forward to create. So the environment really, really, really matters. Okay, what do we got? Follow your bliss 13. How to avoid negative thoughts and loneliness.
Ooh.
A deep sighs there from the stage. Who wants to go first?
I'll let someone else go.
I probably have most of them. How to avoid negative thoughts and loneliness. Well, if you're in that place right now, please reach out to somebody that can really, provide some real support to you. It's really important to surround yourself with people that are like-minded, that can really bring some really lift you up if you're feeling lonely. We all feel loneliness sometimes. We all have that. But if you're going through that right now, really reach out. The negative thoughts, I think a lot of times we may experience that too. But again, that's a really good reason why it's really important for you to surround yourself with people that can encourage you and speak truth to you, because a lot of that negativity is just a big lie. And so you need support around you that's going to remind you that you're just a human being, a wonderful human being, and there's work that you've got to do. So surround yourself with like-minded people like the Movement Makers that can support you.
All right, Erasmo, what do you got?
I got what worked for me, Evan, is find motivation. Find something that gets you excited in the morning. In the morning, one of my routines is listen to one of your videos, motivational videos, and just keep going. Like you start your day so happy. Meditation works for me also. Gratitude. Gratitude is unbelievably strong when you're grateful for everything, right? So that's what works for me, and practice that. It might help somebody.
I love it. Esmeralda.
I would say first, first thing you have to know is that you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. You might not have the people around you, like in your family or your friends, that understands what you're going through. But there's definitely people out there that you can reach out to. So I totally agree with Angela and with Erasmo. Meditation, reach out to people. I've been there not too long ago. I've been there so many times, and just reaching out to other people. Don't be a loner. Uh, I think whenever I used to call myself a loner, and I was happy that way. But then I realized that's not going to help me grow. So, that's not going to help me come out of this negative feeling or this negative vibe. So just reach out to people. Instagram is a good place, or if you just want to read, if you don't want to talk to anyone, just read. And meditation, definitely meditation. And if you want to listen to videos, Evan's a good one.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why I'm here, and here's the reason why I have been able to overcome so many obstacles. So just remember, you're not alone. Just reach out.
I love it. I would split these up between negative thoughts and loneliness. So negative thoughts, you're either living in the past and you're regretting something that happened. You wish you could have been more. You wish you could have said something. You wish you did action. Or you're living in the fear of the future and anxiety over what might happen or what maybe will occur. The answer almost always is immediate action in the present. Like, how do you get out of living in the past or living in the future? Well, you do something right now. And so whatever your goals, ambitions are, what can you do right now to start building some kind of momentum? And that momentum starts to carry you. And you find you stop thinking about these negative thoughts because you're actually building something as opposed to just being left there with even more regret that you haven't taken any action. So around negative thoughts is positive momentum right now towards your goals. And loneliness, just understand that you can get connection at any moment in your life. Like, coming here and asking this question and hearing 4 amazing answers and just sharing your story, I bet you already feel a little bit less lonely. You decided in this moment that you're going to show up. I go live and hey, you're going to show up and join us. You're a little bit less lonely. You can choose at any moment if you want. And my favorite way is actually through service to help. So if I feel lonely, I could always go live on Instagram and somebody's going to show up. Or I can always go and leave a comment on somebody's post. Or you can join Believe Raids, believeraids.com, run by Angela here. And we do an act of kindness, giving love to somebody on their Instagram post once every morning. So you can choose at any moment to serve and help and give somebody either some love or just a listening ear, and that'll knock you out of your loneliness whenever you want. It's available to you. Let's get to one more. Wow, so many questions. Okay, let's do one more from Tanya. Oh, response couldn't be shared. Why can't response be shared? Oh, there we go. Tanya, how to get more self-esteem. How do we get more self-esteem?
That's a good one.
Who's up? Wait, who didn't start yet? Erasmo has to start. Erasmo, you got to lead us this time.
I'll go first. So self-esteem is just do the thing that makes you nervous. That's it. Like, do the thing that makes you nervous and celebrate your small wins, like you say, Evan, because that helped me tremendously when I started celebrating and doing what got me nervous. This is a prime example right here for Esmeralda. She was nervous and she's doing it. Well, guess what? Tomorrow, if you invite her again, she's going to do it again because she crossed that barrier. And I had so much difficulties doing that. Like, I struggled so much with that. But once I started practicing doing difficult things, like you say, it just got easier. And that grows your self-esteem, like, a lot. You'll be shocked how much self-esteem you'll grow. So that's for me.
I love it. Angela?
Good stuff. Well, you just reminded me, Erasmus, of when I first started going live, and it was literally I'd hit the button and I'd X out, hit the button, X out, hit the button, X out, and it was just 20 minutes of doing that. And so it's practice. You have to put yourself out there. You may not always feel like your esteem is high, but just know that by just keep doing it. Be consistent. You have to remind yourself every day that you keep going, because the reason why you're doing it is greater than you are. So you got to keep pushing through.
These are great answers. All right, Esmeralda, here we go. What do we got?
I would say love yourself, no matter what. I think there's different ways of having low self-esteem. A lot of times, you don't love your body. You don't love yourself enough. And I would say love yourself no matter what. Just because you're not a way that you think that you should be, doesn't mean that you're not beautiful, that you're not loved. You are loved. Okay? But it starts with loving yourself. So
I love it. Esmeralda's been too afraid to make videos. Come on now, let's go. She's spitting some fire here. I love it. I love where Erasmo went with this too, of using Esmeralda as an example, because that's a really critical moment for people, right? So I invite, I say I'm going to go live. I invite Esmeralda in. I recognize her name. Let's bring her up. And there's that little critical moment where I say, do I say yes or do I decline? Yeah. Do I say yes and join in, or it's like, oh, no, I'm too busy. I can't do this. I'm in the store, whatever reasons they're going to. And every time we have these little moments, it's not just some giant one-off opportunity. It's how we show up for ourselves every day. So how do you love yourself more? You say yes to those opportunities. Even if you fail, even if it doesn't work out, even if Esmeralda joins and a fire alarm goes off in the store, or she drops the phone, or somebody's looking at her and judging her, like whatever the worst case scenario is going to be, you do it. And every time you say yes, you're saying yes to yourself. And you're giving yourself a little more self-love. You're giving yourself a little bit more self-esteem. And every time you say no, it works the opposite way. You just reinforce how you don't feel good enough, right? If Esmeralda said no to this, and it reinforces you see, of course, I knew I couldn't do it. I knew I wasn't good enough. And then there's the regret an hour later. It's like, I should have just said yes. Wow, it wasn't that bad, right? So it's when those moments come up, and it's all of these micro moments that happen every day. You have another chance to say yes to yourself, another little micro moment. All of those moments add up. It's not about going to the gym and lifting 1,000 pounds. It's about going to the gym and lifting 5, and then 7, and then 10, and then 12, and putting in those reps. So the goal today is to try to do enough of those yeses for yourself, for the things that you're afraid to do, that you might be judged for, but you're saying yes, whether you win or not. Just the fact that you showed up is, I think, how you start building self-esteem and self-love. Guys, that was fun.
So good.
Hey now.
Yes.
All right, I gotta go spend a little time with Nina before moving on with my day. But everybody watching, go check out Esmeralda, Angela, Erasmo. Their accounts are linked there at the top, and Believe Raids as well if you want to do an act of kindness every day. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing start to your week. Continue to believe.
You guys.
I'll see you soon. Much love.